Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to find out who our seed giveaway winners are, so stick around. So if you're new to this channel, about a week ago, we did a seed giveaway for reaching 1,000 subscribers. And firstly, I just want to say thank you to everyone who is obviously subscribed to the channel, who follows all of our videos and enjoys all our content. And also a big thank you to everyone who actually entered into the seed giveaway. So right over here, as you know from yesterday's video, we have 2 packs of Drosera capensis, the red variety, and obviously these are going out to 2 winners, which we will find out in this video. Now, before we draw the winners, I just want to tell you guys a couple of things. We had our participants drawn from Instagram and from YouTube because obviously some people don't have Instagram. And what I have done is that I have made a list and I have given every single person a number. So what we will do is then we'll use a random number generator between the numbers 1 and 27, because we had 27 participants. And then that's how we will find our 2 winners. And the second thing that I want to share with you guys is that I may start recording less videos on this channel because I'm actually going to a job interview today. Because obviously the economy has been on a down since the world's issues started. And obviously the economy is starting to pick back up now, and I actually need to find work, because that's why I'm in Australia. I moved here to Australia to obviously work and earn an income and start a life which you could never get in South Africa. So yeah, I may just go back to doing 1 video a week, and I really hope that you guys do enjoy those videos. I may do a little bit more, just letting you guys know that there may be less videos on the channel, and that's the reason why. Anyway, let's now look at our seed winners. Okay guys, so this is our list of all the participants. As you can see, everyone has a number between 1 and 27, and we will now use Google's random number generator. So let's go first one, number 26 and number 19. So let me find out who it is real quick. Okay guys, so I will be contacting the winners now, and the winners are Ants Knowledge and Michael Barnett. So well done guys, you guys have won our seed giveaway. I hope that you guys enjoy the seeds that you will get, and obviously I will contact you guys. So that is it for the seed giveaway. Once again, thank you to everyone who participated. So now let's continue with our update on our seeds that we have been fertilizing outside. So here we go guys. Here's our Drosophilums, and as I say, we need to spray them down every single day. So let's just do that. And here we go guys, here is our Drosera Regi. If you guys watched Sunday's video, you would know that our other Regi over here on the side, he was not looking too good, and we did fertilize him just to see if anything would come from the roots. But of course, he has now gone ahead and killed himself, so yeah, nothing's from that guy. But this Regi here on the left has its new leaf out, and it looks really good. So we will just give it a couple droplets of fertilizer. As you can see, the plant is actually visible now, whereas before it was very small. So yeah, let's give it a couple of drops of fertilizer so it can get nice and big. And there we go. Super easy when they get nice and big, and hopefully eventually you'll be able to get these guys so big that we don't even have to give them liquid fertilizers anymore, that they'll actually just be catching their own insects. Oh, sorry. Right over here, we have our Drosera Adelaide, the same plant that has gone through all of those difficult trials in the past. And obviously now we can actually see it. It's actually big now, it's visible. So it's looking really good. And we will give it another fish flake. It eats its fish flakes very well. And obviously that new leaf there is very dewy, as you can see in the camera. So let me just give it another fish flake. And here we go. Let's give it a fish flake. Just like that. And now I'm making the fish flakes, not so big like before, because before we would get so much fish flakes that the fish flakes were as big as the leaves. And then you can kind of see in the old traps that they kind of went a little bit moldy. And yeah, so now that the trap's a little bit bigger, we can give them, smaller size meals, and it can properly wrap around it. And won't have that mold issue anymore. But anyway, seeing as I did just feed this plant, let me just, stimulate the leaf a little bit so we can see some movement on a 10-minute time lapse. And there we go, guys. As you can tell, I think there was a little bit of movement on the plants, but obviously I can't tell because I'm watching it in real life. And obviously the time lapse is what I need to see if the plant moves a lot or not. So yeah, for me, I don't see much movement, but maybe there is a little bit of movement because I think that those trigger traps, little hair things at the back, I think they moved a little bit. Okay guys, so before we update the Drosera rotundifolia, which there's actually quite a couple things that I found quite interesting about their growth habit right now. I am going to my job interview now, and the reason why I put it in inverted commas is simply because it's a farm. I'm going to a chicken farm and I'll just be working as like a farm hand there. Not many people know this, but in quite a few countries, I think Canada and the UK also has, and obviously Australia, there is this visa. It's called like a work and holiday visa. So you can go to the country and you can go on holiday there for a year. And if you work for 3 months in a specific sector, so the sector that I'll be working in is obviously, not culture, agriculture and foods. So like, I don't know what the correct term is, but like animal. Yeah, you guys understand what I'm saying. Anyway, if I work for 3 months in that sector, then it means that I can get a second year's visa. And then if I work 6 months on that visa, then I can get a third year's visa. And then hopefully by then I have saved up enough money to study in Australia. And then once I've studied in Australia and, gotten more points, then I can hopefully get a work visa. And then after working for a year in Australia in, a field that is recognized in Australia, such as I am an environmental and plant and animal scientist and a human physiologist. So all of those count, but I need to work in Australia to actually get them to count. And in order to get myself to be able to work in the country, obviously have to study so I can get, letters stating that I am registered, and very, very difficult stuff. Anyway, so then I can get a year, and then I can get a visa that allows me to work for a year. And then after I've worked for a year, then hopefully I can get a visa which allows me to get permanent residency. And then from permanent residency, after 4 years, then citizenship. So it's a very long and difficult process, but this is the first step in that process. So I'm going to go now to the interview and I'll let you guys know what happens obviously when I get back, and then I'll update you guys on the Drosera rotundifolia. Okay guys, and I just got back from the chicken farm. It all went really, really well. Obviously, as I said, it wasn't really an interview as much as it was just handing in some paperwork and looking around the place and just talking, because obviously it isn't really, a farm hand helping out on the farm is not really something that you really need to do an interview for. So yeah, that's done now. It went super, super well. So hopefully come Monday time, I should start working there. So anyway, let's go back to looking at our plants. Last time, well, a couple hours ago, which is like a couple seconds for you, I was talking about our Drosera rotundifolia. And there are some quite interesting differences that I have found in the plant's growth since we have started feeding them. So let's go take a look. Okay, and here is our Drosera rotundifolia, the guys that we have been feeding fish flakes and this liquid fertilizers that you can see in the background. Anyway, this plant here on the left, this one right here, is the one that we have been feeding the liquid fertilizers. And this one over here is the one that we have been feeding the fish flakes. So what you may be able to notice already is that the one on the left has obviously open traps. All of them are open, whereas this one over here has closed traps. Now the reason for this is obviously because we're feeding this guy the liquid fertilizers, so the traps don't really have to close around it because the trap easily absorbs it right into the leaf itself. Whereas over here, the trap does actually have to close around the fish flakes so that it can actually get all the glands onto the food. Now, the other thing that you may or may not notice is that this guy here obviously has a very, very thick petiole right there, the little stem going towards the trap. whereas this guy here has very, very thin petioles, as you can tell. And the second thing is that this guy is actually growing up out the ground now. Can you see this newest trap is growing up, whereas this one, all the traps are still pretty low down to the ground. Now, I have no idea why this is actually happening. I think this guy may just be trying to reach for something. It doesn't make any sense to me because I've never seen Drosera rotundifolia ever grow upright like that. I generally see pictures of them growing, pretty low down to the ground like this. And secondly, I have no clue why this one has such a thick petiole compared to this guy. So yeah, that's very, very strange. And obviously you can see all the other traps are still nice and small. They look exactly the same as they always have. Besides this guy down here, he's been eating a lot of little flies and insects that land in there. So yeah, as I said, it's very, very strange and I have no idea why their growth rates are so different. But anyway, between the two, so far this guy, like I predicted, is growing much, much quicker and much, much faster. As you can see, there's a brand new trap right there and one at the back developing. Whereas this one has only made this one new trap over here since we last fed it, and this one in the middle is obviously still developing, but right at the beginning stages of development. So this guy right here is already opening up that leaf. So as we predicted, this guy's growing much, much quicker and this one's growing slower, but they're both still much bigger than all the other plants in the pot. So you guys can take from that whatever you want. It's quite interesting to see this, these results. I honestly didn't expect it to, create different growth habits in the plant. I didn't expect to make a plant that grows up out the ground and one that has super thick petioles. But anyway, that's what we now have. So what we're going to do is that we're just going to feed it fish flakes, and then this one over here on the left, we're going to feed it some liquid fertilizers like we do every single week, and then we're going to put in a time lapse for you guys. Okay, so now we're going to put on our fish flake and this guy over here, obviously on the brand new leaf that has just developed. So he's going to get something to eat now. And we will put just one droplet on the open trap because we don't want to feed all the traps, because then obviously it's going to grow much, much quicker. And I fixed our little needle, guys, so it obviously works again now. Hopefully it doesn't get jammed up again. So let's just put some droplets on this trap right here at the back. Super, super easy. There we go. And now I'll put on a 30-second time lapse for you guys. And there we go, guys. I think halfway through the little liquid of fertilizer we had on this plant over here, I think it fell off, so I just reapplied it over there. And on this side, obviously you can see little fish flake. It's getting very, very wet, so I really think that these guys obviously start to secrete some, some enzymes right at the beginning stages of actually eating this fish flake, because this fish flake has obviously become quite wet. So let's go put these guys right back outside. So there we go, guys, a super simple video, just updating you guys on how our plants are looking so far. As you can tell, they're growing pretty well now. They're starting to get some good growth in them, growing pretty quick. Obviously, all of our other plants outside are also starting to grow quite quickly right now. And I think it's because they've obviously gotten to that size where they're getting a lot of sunlight and enough nutrients from their roots so they can really start growing super, super well. So if you guys do want to see them and their updates, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed this update, please remember to leave a like. Obviously, as you can tell outside, it is quite dark now because I went out to the chicken farm quite late, and then obviously it's quite a long drive there and back. So yeah, that is obviously why it's quite dark outside. So I'm going to put these guys outside and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode.